Morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So today I thought we would have a go at no line watercolouring, which is something that I've been kind of fascinated by for a while, and I've never really tried it myself. So I've had a couple of attempts at it, and we're going to have a little play with it today. So we will just switch. Alrighty, so this is the set that I've seen somebody use as a no-line watercolouring, and I don't buy many of these sort of sets because, to be perfectly honest, I don't know what to do with them. This one is a Sale-a-Bration set, so conveniently enough, when I ordered over $90 worth of goodies, I got it for free. It's got the two stamps in it, which are these two, and they are quite detailed, as you can see. So I have had a little play around already, and I have produced these two. So when you're doing no line watercolouring, you're actually using oh, they've gone, there they are, water painters, there they are. So don't know whether you can see that, bit of focus, water painters, there we go. Refocus back onto here again, and you can see there comes 3 in a pack. So there's actually a nice thick one, which is great for if you want to do skies or sort of like big washes. And then there is one that apparently is coming apart, a thinnish one, and then there is a sort of like normal size paintbrushy sort of one. What happens with them is you unscrew them in the wrong direction. I say that because it throws me every time. You fill up the reservoir with water and you screw them back in the wrong direction. Feels like the wrong direction to me. And then when you use them, the water just comes out the end, and you can give it says push on either side. You can give it a little bit of a push, and there you go, you see. Water's coming out there now, and then it just releases a bit of bubbles into it, so you know the water's coming out. Anyway, so what you do is you actually stamp with a really light color to begin with, and then it's kind of like paint by numbers, and you color it in, only you don't have the colors specified for you, so you're picking out your own colors to paint by numbers with. So let me take a seat, and these two I've used our watercolor paper to do them, and then this one I've used the shimmery white cardstock to do it. And I don't know whether it makes much of a difference. Oh, apparently I've got a hair on there. But I have to say I prefer this image over the other two. I don't know whether that's because I like the pop of colour in it, and you don't really get much of a pop of colour in it with this one. This was the first one I did, and I have to say I'm not overly keen on it. Then I moved on to this one, and I do prefer it. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to mount it up on a card yet, so you might want to check out my blog later to find out how I've done that. And then this one, as I say, it's been done on the watercolour paper. So I thought today we would move on to one that is going to be done on the shimmery white cardstock. What you do is you ink up your image in Sahara sand, which is probably the lightest colour that we have. Well, the lightest one that will blend in with lots of different things. And then you stamp that onto either your shimmery white cardstock, because the shimmery white will take a lot of water on it before it balls up or does anything, and so will the watercolor paper that's designed for lots of water on it. I'm going to be using the smallest ink brush, and I'm also just going to grab myself a tissue, because I have found if you have a little tissue on the side, any excess water blobs or any excess colour that's on your paintbrush, you can just wipe it off afterwards. So what colours am I going to use? So I thought I would actually use, oh, by the way, when you use your ink pads, if you press them together like that, you're going to end up with a little pool of ink, which is what you want to use from. You don't want to take it straight from the ink pad because it's probably going to end up way too concentrated if you do that. So I might just do that, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a wash over with some of this colour just to darken the whole place up, as it were, and then that way I can then move on to colouring the rest of it. That makes it so it's not quite so stark in the first place, and you can see I'm just washing off the brush on my bit of paper there. I actually didn't grab the same colours out, so that's fine though. I do like the idea of having a terracotta pot, so I'm just going to grab out my Cajun Craze, and there's a little pot here that I'm going to colour in as a little terracotta pot, and there's another one just on the wall here, which again, just going to colour that in as a terracotta pot and just wipe off the excess. There we go. So that'll do for that. The good thing with watercolour is that it doesn't have to be accurate by any stretch of the imagination, which is really nice. And I might try, I really liked the pop of pink on the one that I did over here, but I might actually try it with some yellow. Oh, you know what I did last time was I actually used the green first. So let's grab my old olive and just gonna see how you don't have to be too accurate with it. And I think there's actually some going up the stairs here, so we'll just put a little bit onto there too. Oh, and this little plant here that's in the terracotta pot, we will add a bit of colour to that. It's always good when things don't have to be accurate, because I'm not terribly good at accurate stuff, I will say. There we go. Let's give that. So if you give it a bit of a squeeze, it'll just give it a bit of water and it'll clean your brush off nicely for you as you do that. Let's see what it looks like with a bit of yellow for the plants. I'm just adding that sort of on top of the green so that you can still see the green coming through. And as I say, it is a little bit like paint by numbers, because all you're doing is you're kind of adding colour to the bits that are stamped, but you're sort of obliterating the main lines of it, I suppose. And just keep going on that. A little bit down here. And I will say that I have found you do need to be constantly loading your brush up with the ink. Yeah, not too bad. I might just give it a little bit of a darker colour there. And you never know, if you're lucky, I might actually fast forward through some of this. So to do the stairs, I'm actually going to use a sort of trilogy of browns, as it were. I want to start off with the lightest colour, and I keep doing that. Let's give it a quick squeeze together. There we go. So I'm starting off with the lighter brown. And I have found that Stampin' Up will add a lot more colour, or they'll add a lot more lines to the places that are meant to be darker. So that gives you a bit of indication as to where you should actually be sort of adding more colour to. So we're going to pop a bit more colour into there and a bit more into here. A bit more on the steps. And again, I might just fast forward a bit. Then I'm going to move on to the next brown that I'm using. So that's soft suede, and I think Tom's just about to walk in. And walk back out again. So the soft suede, I'm just going to add that colour. Just kind of on top of where I was working previously. So again, I might just move the video on a little bit so that you don't have to watch me do this with all of. So then I thought I would move on to the Night of Navy and just maybe give the door that little pop of blue colour. So hopefully this looks all right. I have to say I do like this nice fine paintbrush. And so there it is. You can still see the lines underneath it, so I'm not entirely sure that I'm doing this quite right, but it's actually not as complicated as it seems. It's kind of what I'm trying to get to. And I was wondering also about using this set, because I was kind of thinking that maybe this would work for the similar sort of thing. So go and check out my blog to see what I actually end up doing with this, and whether I do end up using this and making something up, because I will show you it on my blog. And if you have a go at this, let me know, because I'll be interested to see how yours turns out. I'm kind of feeling like these ones don't really have the no lines going on, but I think these ones are not too bad. I think they kind of do obliterate the lines relatively well, if that makes sense. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, and do come back again and join me next Saturday. Okay, bye. Okay, just in case you're still here, I've just started putting together my different cards, and I thought I would show you quickly how I've created this pattern on the bottom, because I wanted a pattern to sort of go along with the, hopefully you can see this, the sort of Aztec-y design that's going on there. So what I've done is I've taken my little ink spot, and the idea is to try and have it so it's on the same angle, and then just a case of like that to get that sort of effect on it. So I'm just gonna do that down the other end as well, so hopefully there we go. Just thought I would show you that, because that's what I plan to do with these two cards, just to create that sort of different edging to it. Okay, so yes, go check out the others. Okay, bye.